Guys, if you like making money, which I know you do not want to miss this one. In today's episode, we are discussing pressure washing business for beginners, the 5 different ways in which you are losing customers fast. Now, we're going to jump right into this, but what you actually guys see on the screen there, I'm doing a voiceover while you guys watch me pressure wash this patio. It's actually a paver patio, and we got a 3-man team here at this house. We're doing the house, multiple walkways, driveway, 2 different decks and 2 different patios. And I really when I saw this patio, I wanted to get it on video because you guys see there it's full of moss and stuff. And if you're wondering, by the way, the process we use, we pre-treat, and then we do cutting. You're going to see all of these things here on the video, and then we pressure wash it with our surface cleaner, then we rinse it, and then we post-treat it with basically like a house mix here on this patio. But you're going to get to see all of that. But I'm going to do this voiceover here over this video, talking about the mistakes that you guys are making that's causing you to lose customers. So let's jump right in. The number one thing, guys, is poor customer service. Now, there's a lot of different things to cover in that. I'll be honest with you, that is a video all by itself. And we are actually planning to do a video with our office manager where she's going to talk to you guys about all the different ways in which you guys can, operate a better business from the customer service side of it. And she's going to share with you guys experiences that she's had from that end. Now, to me, how I define customer service is going above and beyond the expectations of the customer. Let me repeat that. Going above and beyond the expectations of the customer. And there's many different ways by which you can do that. Running good customer service. Look around the world that we live in today, guys. I mean, the number of companies out there that are offering really good customer service is just basically non-existent. So you're really going to be a candlelight in the darkness, if you're out there giving good customer service. And there's multiple ways in which you can do that. And one of the best ways by which you can offer really good customer service out there is by, for example, always doing a little something extra for people, right? Like, for example, in this patio here, she didn't pay us to do the retaining walls. And there's 3 separate retaining walls on this patio. And usually we charge people for that kind of stuff. But, I touched up her retaining walls, and then you can't see it here off screen, but she's got like big stone steps that lead all the way up to the house, and I did those as well. I'm not going to spend, something that's going to take me, let's say, more than 10 or 15 minutes doing it, and then if I'm going to have to use a lot of solution. But, then we let customers know, hey, we did this on the house, no charge. And so, maybe you're at a house and there's a small concrete pad that you can knock out, or maybe a small shed. Little things like that make a big difference for people. And, that can go a long way. Another way that you can offer great customer service is just by showing up on time when you're supposed to show up. So if you're the type of person that you're always late everywhere you go, man, you're not going to make it in this business, guys. I mean, that's terrible customer service. So, and then the other side of it is, with feedback, if a customer has an issue, you're on it, you come back, you're always answering the phone, and you're always ready to take care of any need that they have. So moving on to number 2, which kind of goes hand in hand with customer service, is poor communication skills, guys. Like, one of the biggest mistakes that I made in the beginning of my pressure washing business was that I wasn't very good at this. And this, by the way, is a skill. It's something that you can develop. Buy books, read up on a subject, watch YouTube videos on how to become a better communicator. And one of the things in which I really struggled with was explaining to customers exactly what we were doing, so there was no stuff lost in translation, right? Like, nowadays when we go to a house, we let them know exactly what we're doing, how we're doing it. We let the customers know what time we're going to be there. We actually, for example, we text them about 20 minutes out saying, hey, our technician is going to be at your property at this time. And then the technician communicates to that person everything that they're doing. So it's like a flow. You want to be a good communicator, because this is going to translate to other areas of your business as well. You want to communicate well with your vendors and your employees and so forth. So communication is going to not only lose you customers if you do it badly, but it's also going to lose you a lot of money. And one of my favorite quotes of all time, when we're talking about communication, guys, and I'll put it up here on the screen for you. It says, communication is your ticket to success if you pay attention and learn to do it effectively. And that's the thing there, guys, right? If you pay attention. And it was 𝐕 that said that. So communication skills, huge for becoming successful in this business. And you will lose customers really, really quickly if you are not communicating effectively to people. Number 3, guys, poor quality in the work that you perform out in the field. Now, I'm going to say a couple things about this. There's 3 basic things, that you're going to look at here, because it takes skill to make it in this business. And guys, when it comes to skill, there are no shortcuts in this department, because skill is something that you acquire through years of experience of being out in the field and constantly learning and adapting in order to become a master of your craft, right? So there's no shortcut for that. And then the second thing is chemical knowledge. We've talked about this in great length, and I'll put up a link here for you guys. I'm sorry, I'll put up this right here for you guys so you guys can see episode 10, and I will put the link actually down below in the description. We did a episode about this chemical. We break down the 8 essential chemicals of the pressure washing business. So you got to know your rust removals, you got to know your degreasers and your SH and your various surfactants. Guys, you got to be knowledgeable when it comes to the chemical stuff. And the bottom line is, I recommend you guys become familiar with all of the chemicals. And, again, link down below will help you out with that. And finally, it's superior commercial grade industrial level equipment. I mean, how are you going to provide professional quality work if you're not using professional equipment? That doesn't make any sense. Like, guys, the bottom line is, when I started this business 10 years ago, I bought a $50 pressure washer on Craigslist. I mean, that's how I started my business. I didn't have any hose reels. I didn't have, my rig wasn't attached to my truck. I used to, pull the pressure washer around the yard with me with a bucket. And that's how I started the business. But as the money was coming in, very quickly, I adapted to my situation and I went upgrading my equipment. So, you want to make sure that you show up to a person's house with that, with that strong, the best equipment available out in the marketplace. Number 4, that actually flows right into number 4, lack of professionalism. I think I mentioned this in another video. You want to make sure that, when you show up to somebody's house, they're going to trust your company, right? And that you're not just inspiring like a positive attitude towards what you do in your company, but also a professional one, a professional image. I told this story a couple weeks ago where I was driving through a neighborhood and I saw this truck. This guy had he was soft washing this house with this, like a skid system that he had. And this guy had probably dumped 20, 30 grand into this awesome skid that he had in the back of the truck. And even though he had amazing equipment, guys, he was out there washing these people's house with, wearing Crocs and like a t-shirt. He wasn't wearing a company shirt. He wasn't wearing boots. And then his truck didn't have any lettering, didn't have a magnet. There was nothing about his company that said professionalism in any kind of way. So imagine you're the neighbor and you're peeking out the window there, and that's what you see. So professionalism can take many, many, many different forms. Also how you speak to people, not using cuss words or slang with people, and, making sure that not just your physical image, but also your verbal language that you use with customers is, top notch stuff. So, be the company that, you yourself would want to hire, right? So, if and again, guys, I mean, we live in a world, where, just look around. I mean, the number of companies out there that offer great customer service, and the people are super professional. I mean, it's not a dime a dozen anymore. I mean, it's really, really rare. So if you put yourself in a situation where you are offering a high level of professionalism to your customer, I mean, guys, you're going to completely dominate your competition. You're going to become number one in your area, because there's just not that many companies out there that are like that. And then finally, guys, last but not least, actually, I think it's the most important thing on this list, not answering the phone. So this is so important that we're gonna do another video just about this, and I'm probably gonna have my office manager, and both of us will be on screen there talking about this. It's probably gonna be like a 20 to 30 minute video where we talk about it. I was answering the phone all the way up to my fifth, right towards my fourth, the end of my fourth year, but I had like a answering service, like one of those, where people answer the phone for you. My fourth year, but then my fifth year, we got the office manager. So, you want to have a live person answering the phone for you, because it makes such a difference. I just did a house a couple of days ago where I got called out there. Oh, you're like, we had all of our trucks, and everybody had a full schedule, and nobody could take on more work. And the office manager called me and said, "Hey, I got this customer. She sent me out there." And I was talking with the customer. And she said, check this out, guys. She said she had four companies. Or, I'm sorry, our company was the fourth one. Three companies prior to ours that she reached out to. They were supposed to show up to give her an estimate, and she got ghosted by all three companies, right? And I mean, and then what happens? She calls us, we answer the phone. 3 hours later, somebody shows up to her house and does a great job there. We pick up an awesome 5-star review, and guess what? And this is the most important thing, guys. We picked up there a lifelong customer. Lifelong customer, somebody who's going to be calling us year after year after year after year. And I mean, I've heard throughout the years hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stories from the office manager. I remember a couple months ago, also, I went to do a job with the 2-man team. And I asked the customers, how they had found out about Mr. Bubbles. And the guy said, it's the funniest thing. I probably called 4 or 5 companies. Not a single company answered the phone until I called you guys. Somebody picked up, gave me a price over the phone, because we do a lot. Most of our house washing prices, we do that remotely. And then, like, within, I want to say less than 3 or 4 hours later, we already had a team at that person's house doing the job. And that's where you want to be as a company. You want to make sure that you always answer the phone. You have some kind of system. And guys, I get it. I was in the field. It's hard to answer the phone when you're doing a gutter, when you're doing a house wash, when you got 5 houses to wash that day. But what you have to do is you have to put a game plan in place, like an action plan on how you're going to solve that problem. Because I'm telling you right now, guys, it's the number one thing that makes Mr. Bubble special here in our area. Last year, the office manager, she called 20 companies, like our local competitors here in our area, just so she could get a quote for her personal house. Guys, guess what? Out of 20 companies she called, only 2 people answer the phone. So 18 different companies did not pick up, answer the phone, or even bother to call her back. right? So you can imagine how many customers you're losing if, because you know how we live in an instant gratification world, guys. Like the person calls you and you don't pick up, they're calling 2 or 3 people right away. They're going to find somebody right away. And that, you're literally sending customers to your competitors if you're doing that. So again, I realize it's not something super simple to fix, but if you put a plan into motion, maybe you hire your sister, maybe it's your sister-in-law, maybe it's your wife, that person's salary, guys, I guarantee you're going to pick that up. You're going to double that just by them answering the phone. But anyway, that's all I got for today. I really appreciate you guys coming to my channel and watching this pressure washing for beginners video. I also highly recommend you guys watch the next one as well. In that episode, we are discussing how to properly downstream a house. And we're doing like a downstreaming versus soft washing debate. And guys, if you like to send me any questions, you can find my email in the description below. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.